Over 4,500 years ago, along the banks of the life-giving Nile, a civilization arose that would become one of the most iconic in human history. This was ancient Egypt during the Old Kingdom, an era often called the Age of the Pyramids, stretching from the deserts in the west to the fertile lands along the river, and from Lower Egypt in the north to Upper Egypt in the south. The kingdom was a land of contrasts: arid deserts, lush farmlands, bustling towns, and monumental cities. The Old Kingdom was a period of stability, prosperity, and creativity, where pharaohs ruled as gods on earth and left a legacy that would endure for millennia. From the grandeur of the pyramids to the lives of ordinary farmers, from religious rituals to political governance, the story of ancient Egypt's Old Kingdom is a story of human ambition, vision, and ingenuity. The rise of the Pharaohs. The pharaohs were more than kings. They were considered divine intermediaries between the gods and the people. Leaders like Djoser, Sneferu, and Khufu were not only rulers but also religious figures whose authority shaped every aspect of society. Pharaoh Djoser, for example, commissioned the Step Pyramid at Saqqara, a revolutionary architectural feat that would pave the way for future monumental constructions. Sneferu, his successor, experimented with pyramid designs, eventually creating the bent pyramid and the red pyramid, refining engineering techniques that culminated in the Great Pyramid of Giza, built by Khufu. Governance in the Old Kingdom was highly organized. Pharaohs maintained absolute power, but this authority was executed through an extensive bureaucracy. Officials, viziers, scribes, and priests managed everything from tax collection and agricultural planning to judicial matters and religious ceremonies. This hierarchical structure ensured the smooth functioning of the kingdom, balancing centralized control with the practical needs of daily life. Cities and villages followed orders from the capital, and the pharaoh's decrees reached every corner of Egypt, enforcing law, order, and divine rule. Building the pyramids, monumental architecture. The pyramids are perhaps the most enduring symbols of ancient Egypt. The Step Pyramid of Djoser, designed by the visionary architect Imhotep, marked the beginning of monumental stone construction, a testament to human ambition and ingenuity. These structures were far more than tombs. They were political statements, symbols of divine authority, and reflections of cosmic order. The Great Pyramid of Giza, completed under Pharaoh Khufu, stood over 480 feet tall, constructed with millions of limestone blocks transported from quarries, sometimes hundreds of miles away. The construction of these pyramids required precise planning, innovative techniques, and vast labor forces. Workers, often skilled artisans and seasonal laborers, carved stone, built ramps, and coordinated complex logistics. Contrary to popular myths of slave labor, evidence suggests that these projects employed a well-fed and organized workforce, motivated by national pride, religious devotion, and the prestige of serving the pharaoh. Every block, every alignment, and every chamber reflected careful calculation and cosmic symbolism, ensuring that the pharaoh's journey into the afterlife was secured and his legacy immortalized. society, and daily life. Life in ancient Egypt's Old Kingdom was rich, diverse, and organized. Farmers tilled the fertile lands along the Nile, growing grain, vegetables, and flax, while fishermen harvested the river's abundance. Craftsmen, potters, and weavers produced goods that filled the bustling markets of towns and cities. Scribes recorded every aspect of life in cuneiform-like hieroglyphs, preserving economic transactions, religious texts, and literary works for generations to come. Education was primarily the privilege of the elite, particularly scribes who were trained in writing, mathematics, and administration. Religious life permeated daily activities, with festivals, rituals, and offerings shaping both public and private life. Temples dedicated to gods such as Ra, Osiris, and Isis served as centers of worship, economic activity, and social gathering. The pharaoh's divine role reinforced a society built on order, hierarchy, and shared religious beliefs, creating cohesion across a vast and diverse kingdom. Agriculture, the Nile, and economy. The Nile was the lifeblood of ancient Egypt. Its predictable annual floods enriched the soil, allowing agriculture to thrive in an otherwise arid environment. Farmers relied on the inundation cycle, planting crops in fertile silt left behind by the receding waters. Irrigation canals and basins expanded arable land and increased food production, supporting growing populations and enabling monumental projects like the pyramids. Trade was equally vital. Egypt exchanged grain, papyrus, linen, and gold with neighboring regions, including Nubia, the Levant, and the Mediterranean. Boats sailed the Nile, connecting distant cities and facilitating the movement of people, goods, and ideas. This economic network reinforced the stability and prosperity of the Old Kingdom, making Egypt not only self-sufficient, but also a dominant cultural and economic force in the ancient world. Religion, art, and cultural achievements. Religion and culture were inseparable from governance and daily life. Pharaohs were seen as divine, the ultimate intermediaries between gods and men. Temples, statues, and tombs celebrated gods and kings alike. Art flourished with vibrant frescoes, detailed sculptures, and intricate jewelry that reflected religious devotion, social hierarchy, and daily life. Hieroglyphic writing, with its combination of symbols, phonetics, and ideograms, preserved history, myths, and knowledge for millennia. Craftsmen created magnificent statues of pharaohs and deities, often with symbolic proportions and materials chosen for spiritual significance. Religious rituals ensured cosmic balance and societal harmony, emphasizing the connection between human activity and divine order. Festivals, processions, and offerings reinforced community bonds and affirmed the pharaoh's divine mandate. Challenges and decline. Even the mightiest civilizations faced trials. Towards the end of the Old Kingdom, Egypt faced political fragmentation, economic strain, and environmental challenges, including low Nile floods that threatened agriculture. Regional governors, called nomarchs, began to assert greater independence, weakening central authority. Rebellions and internal conflicts further destabilized the kingdom, leading to the eventual decline of the Old Kingdom around 2181 BCE. Despite these challenges, the innovations, culture, and governance of the Old Kingdom endured, influencing the Middle and New Kingdoms that followed. The pyramids, monuments, and texts left behind became symbols of Egyptian ingenuity, ambition, and spirituality, inspiring generations of rulers, architects, and scholars. Legacy of the Old Kingdom. The Old Kingdom of ancient Egypt was a civilization of visionaries, builders, and leaders whose achievements continue to captivate the world. From the fertile Nile to the towering pyramids, from the power of pharaohs to the daily lives of citizens, the Old Kingdom laid the foundations of Egyptian civilization and left a legacy that has endured for over 4 millennia. It is a testament to human ambition, creativity, and the enduring spirit of civilization itself.